So before we begin with, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge and celebrate International Women's Day. To all the incredible women here and everywhere, thank you for your dedication, strength, and inspiration. Once again, wishing you all International Women's Day. So welcome to today's session, Puppets Unleashed, Exploring the Limitless Possibilities of Puppetry. It's my absolute pleasure to introduce our distinguished educator and true inspiration in the field of teaching and learning, none other than Miss Meenal Rathorji. Welcome you to this forum, ma'am.
Thank you, Mohsinji. Thank you so much.
So, ma'am is the principal of HP Kapadia New High School, Gandhinagar, and currently pursuing her PhD in English language from Gujarat University. With a strong academic background, including MED and MPhil in adolescent and child psychology, Meenal ma'am has made a significant contributions to research, having successfully published 2 international research papers. Beyond academics, she is a CBSE resource person, having trained more than 1,000 plus teachers since 2022 on crucial topics such as gender sensitivity, happy classrooms, learning outcomes and pedagogy, and innovative English teaching methods. Not just an academician, she's a sports enthusiast who has played badminton at national level and at university level as well. And she has authored a storybook titled Marathon. Above all, ma'am is a lifelong learner, always searching for innovative methodologies and techniques to make education more engaging and effective for all learners. It is truly honor to have you, ma'am, today on the session. Let's give a big welcome to ma'am. All the stage is yours now. Kindly please honor the session, ma'am. And it is over to you now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mohsinji, for
Ma'am,
it's not a brief introduction. Actually, you have spoken a lot about me, and I feel humbled for that.
thank you. And before we gonna start this session, I would just like to give a quick synopsis of today's webinar. So the teachers who have attended today's session will be on mute, please. So at the end of the session, ma'am will give 5-10 minutes to you. If you have any doubts, you are feel free to post the questions in Q&A section here in the webinar or in the chat box. Okay, upon your participation, teachers will be getting the participation certificate via your email as well. If at all you have registered using your mail, you will be getting your certificates as well. And at the end of the session, I'll also share our YouTube, link. Kindly do subscribe it, and I will also share our Insta handle. Going forward, if at all we conduct any webinars, you will get a notifications on that. So it's over to you, ma'am. Please honor the session. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Burlington, for giving me this opportunity to interact and have a stage where I can connect with hundreds of educators. My gratitude to each one of you for joining this afternoon. It's a Women's Day and a women speaker out there. I feel privileged and honored to be part of this webinar. I'm so sure that each one of you will have some other insights on the topic which I'm going to deal today. Actually, what I feel about puppets, it is something which I feel we all have been born puppeteers. How and why we'll know in times to come. And today I do not know why, with all the emotions since morning, being women, we are, I think, double puppets. So we play so many roles and so many distinguished roles. And I feel proud to be a woman. So now in the chat box, I allow you to post anything which you wish to during the session regarding puppetry. And I'm a learner, as I said, but yes, what I have done so far in this field, I'll be trying to share in this small stipulated time which we have. So Puppets Unleashed, exploring the possibilities of puppetry, of course. Next slide, sir. We'll begin. Now, let us see in short what would be the goals of this webinar. I would like every educator to know at least the fundamentals of puppetry. And then puppetry in classroom, which is a tool which we all have learned during our education journey, which we have seen and experienced Today, once again, it is time to feel nostalgic, I would rather say. And we will also discover the role of puppetry in establishing interdisciplinary teaching learning environment. Then I'm so happy that this art, which was diminishing over the years, but India has contributed a lot. And to name a few, I have seen Dadi Padamji's show in New Delhi, and Somya Ojaji, a few one to whom I look upon and try to learn. So they have also taken this puppetry beyond classroom. Now it is a research thing and a fundamental fact that puppetry is also nowadays used in therapeutic interventions. And being a learner of child psychology, all educators actually, uh, teaching in kindergarten or in middle section or upper primary, we should and we may use it as a tool. uh, Next slide, please. Yeah, for the introduction, as I said, that let us first of all feel nostalgic and go into our childhood. Each one of us, irrespective of whatever gender, I think we have been puppets or we have played our toys using them as puppets. Being girls, it has been some dolls, or being boys, it has been some Spider-Man or some soft toy in our hand, and you might have seen and observed that we have had our dialogues with them, and those toys were very close to us because we could connect directly. And we never had that puppet who would judge us or criticize us. That is the foundation of this art, that this puppet gives us a chance where nobody is judging us and we can vent out on it. And that is the reason, the psyche behind the human tendency, that we connect immediately because we are not being judged over there. Now, talking about the history of puppetry, it's not a new art actually, and it's been a Greek mythology also would say. And then in 500 BC also, there have been educators and philosophers who have talked about puppetry a lot. When we talk about Indian history of puppetry, we have puppets in all the prominent regions of our country, be it Rajasthan, be it Karnataka, be it Tamil Nadu. In South India also, there's lots of space given to puppetry. To name a few, I would say, again, we'll go into the mythology. If we talk about Mahabharata also, there has been mentioning the role of puppets. In fact, I think in all the cultures across world, God is sensed or taken as the manipulator, the puppeteer, and we the puppets. So at any moment of time, we feel that he can, pull the string, and we are not part of it. But here today we are talking about the puppets who plays a vital role in terms of education, in terms of social awareness, in terms of being a very important tool for kids or adults to see as an intervention where a vent is shown through puppetry. So then let us talk about few terminologies about puppetry. There is a term called ventriloquist. So when a puppeteer gives sound to a puppet, that sound or that art of speaking is called ventriloquism, and the person who's talking or giving sound is called a ventriloquist. Okay. So before we move further and I talk about the name, actually in Rajasthan we call it Katputli, and many of you might have seen into the tourism also. That name Katputli is very very common, and in Hindi poetry also it is said that I think I fondly remember a movie Anand. I think we all have seen, where Rajesh Khanna talks about कि हम सब भगवान के हाथ की कठपुतलियां हैं. So owing much to the Indian theatre, owing much to the people who have contributed, I would like to name a few puppets, name of the puppets across country, just to validate that this is not only a tool which only pre-primary teachers have to use in the classroom, and it is not only a tool for entertainment. It is a pedagogical tool, and a tool which is very important for building communication skills also, be it toddlers or adults, at very many point of time. So I think I've got a name. uh, I think let's make it more interactive. Can we have somebody who can name in chat box what are the different names of puppets in different regions? Mohsin sir, even we are meeting for the first time. You belong to which part of the
Uh,
country?
I belong to Southern India. I'm here from Hyderabad, ma'am, actually.
All right, sir. So, do you know any other name than Kathputli if you have heard?
Here in
Oh,
Telugu, we
yeah,
call it
yeah,
as
yeah.
Tolu Bommalu. Tolu Bommal Aata.
Wow, wow, wow. We are receiving so many responses. Yes, sir. You're so right. Then I've got a name called Gombeata, Karnataka, they call it. And in Andhra Pradesh also. Yes.
In,
So can you read few of the chats? I think people
yes,
are naming.
yes, yes.
Okay, okay. It's called Potalu in Assamese.
Hmm.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you everyone for actually being making it so interactive, and your knowledge is beyond. In Odisha also. Okay. In Gujarati it is Katputli. Somebody is writing. In Marathi, I cannot read. They have written it in Marathi. So, first of all, I put my hands for all of you. You're joining us across country, and I'm so humbled that you found time for this session, which Burlington has, initiated and scheduled. So let's move further with the terminologies. I think in Japan also it is called banraku, which is a very important puppet, theater art, and it is recognized by UNESCO also. They had, I mean, I think they're consistently working on it. And in 2003, UNESCO has also recognized this art of puppetry called banraku, which was a puppet theater. And more than in fact 3 people handle that half-sized puppet. That's what they have it. Now next slide. Yes, French marionette. True. Now can you please guess the name of these puppets? Once again, it is task for everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pictures. So let's go horizontally. Yes, finger puppets is correct. Who can name the second puppet? Thread puppet. Okay, string puppet. Yes. String puppet is correct. Here we don't have a stick puppet. Here we don't have. Yes, there is a hand puppet. Quickly, just few more seconds. Third picture, somebody is writing. Hand puppet is correct. All right. All right. Thank you for your deliberations and writing the names and trying it out. Ice cream stick puppet is not here, but yes, that is a very popular puppet. I'll show you. I'll show you few of the samples which I have and which we create in our school and in our centers. So, sir, next slide, please. All right. So this was the first picture which you all have seen. Very famous, very simple. We all have seen. These are the finger puppets. Okay. I'll just try to show one here also. Can you see? Mohsin sir, it's right.
Yeah, ma'am. We are able to see it. It's very good, actually.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. This is of paper. Okay. This is paper finger puppet. Okay. Then we have somebody was naming out stick puppet, which is somehow like this. Okay. So on a stick, we we just stick few felt paper faces, and they are very interactive. Children go crazy. In fact, for awards and for appreciations also, if you give one puppet, I have seen a child having that puppet in the bag always. And they start putting their connections with such small little things, because for them, more than the medals, these things really allure them. Then with the felt also, so this is another form of stick puppet only, I think. Yeah, now it is seen. Okay, so this is with the felt. All right, a stick puppet and a monkey face on it. So next slide. Yeah. Generally, when we say finger puppets, they are used in pre-primary section much with the small theaters. And this is one important form, because across the world, the work is going on in puppetry. And so many research papers are published, and we have gone through. This is one more creativity. When we talk about creativity, I think this is mind blowing, I would say. These are just the junk parts, okay, which we see here and there, and they have named it junk puppet. All the things, when we talk about recycling in the classroom, we can definitely use these discarded materials and promote creativity as well as sustainability. And that would definitely raise awareness in the kids, smaller kids, for being sensitive towards junk and trying to reutilize it. Next, please. This is called jigging puppet. Actually, it is a form of a string puppet, but it tries to manipulate it dance steps as well. So this is mimic live dance moments are done by such puppets. Next, please. This is a simple rod puppet. Okay, so there is a rod and a stick which everyone can see, and with that we do give some movement to the puppet. Okay, that's why this is called rod puppet. Next. Yeah, somebody was mentioning it aptly. This is a hand puppet or a glove puppet as well. So this helps in the classrooms as well, and we can create small. Actually, in our school, we have tried to keep one separate puppet theater for each classroom, and that can be done with a box of waste laptop box or any cardboard box. Children go crazy and they build their own stories, and so many activities are done to sometimes break the monotony of a simple classroom. And here a hand is inserted, which is low, and then a few fillings are done. I'll show you a few more samples of it, and we can sometime later have some artistic workshop as well, where we can live make the puppets. Next, please. So these are called pop-up puppets. Okay, they are hidden inside, and with the string, so it comes out. So that creates a kind of suspense and a surprise for the kids, that what will come next. So if there can be two puppets, such puppets in each classroom, if your answer is right, so the right puppet comes up. If the answer is incorrect, the other dull puppet can come out. So sometimes in fact, through the Burlington sessions also, we have learned that we should avoid using negation in the classroom. So if we don't want to use no, you are wrong, or it is incorrect, we can show some gestures, so that the child can, again a third puppet can be brought to motivate the child to give another answer. So these are the small tools which we use definitely in our pre-primary sections, and I'm so sure many of us must be doing it. Next. So these are called jumping puppets. So they are tied with two threads, and once you pull the thread, you can see the joints as well. So there are hand and leg movements as well. So the puppet climbs up and climbs down. So it is kind of a string puppet only. Next. All right. So this is, I feel nostalgic as and when I see it, Mohsin sir. Have you ever tried on the walls, or any kid around you have tried when there is no light, power off, such things?
It's a traditional practice, ma'am. You might be knowing as a parent also. My mother used to do
True.
to engage me here in the
Definitely.
house. Yeah.
Definitely. I clearly remember my grandfather putting me to sleep every night till the age. I mean, I was in grade 7 when I lost him, And each night he has told me different stories. And there was a dim light, I clearly remember. He used to put such things on the wall, and I used to go sleep and, have wonderful dreams. So those were the days when we were connected, and we could, now I think these words called creativity and, collaboration, why we need to teach it, because we are moving away from the roots somehow. And these are the things with little efforts from parent or a teacher, we can really enhance the creativity in each child around us. And ultimately anyone, because sitting in a class you may have a painter who may have difficulty in solving 2 plus 2. We may have an entrepreneur who is not knowing the strings of saregama, but as the culture says, we all have to put them to 10th grade. And but I think these creativities will give them a platform to explore their innate talent, and somewhere we can be medium to give them this platform. Next, please. So it is two dimensional, we all know it, and it creates a lot so that the expressions are seen. Yeah, this is a hand and rod puppet, a puppet that combines hand manipulation for the hand and rod for the arm to enhance expressiveness. Now, I want you all to introduce one of my favorite friend I have always carry with me. But before that, I request all the participants to suggest a name for my friend. Okay, so here we go. Hello. I think it has to come in front of me, then only. Okay, is it seen, Mohsin sir?
Make it still, ma'am. Don't move it.
All right, now?
Yeah. Yeah, now it is okay.
Okay. Hello. Hello, everyone. Happy Women's Day. How are you? Hi. This is a rod, actually. So I'm trying to give it a background so that it is seen. I think now, yes. Is it seen, sir?
Yes, ma'am. It's
Hello.
absolutely fine now.
Can anyone give a name to me?
Teacher started
Namaste.
posting the messages in the chat box, please.
Okay.
Someone is calling
Okay.
it as a Coco.
Okay. Um, all right. Happy Women's Day to all. All right. I have more friends to introduce you. I'll come back. Bye bye. Bye bye.
Bye
So, this
bye.
is how. Thank you. I think there's a fact that the first known puppet for all of us who got the great acclaim was Pinocchio. So we all should may know it if we have interest. So after hand and rod puppet, next slide, please. All right, these are string puppets, and it also needs lots of practice, because those are the wooden panels. If few of us have not seen them, so they help us to give movement to the limbs of the puppet. All right, also known as marionettes. Marionette puppets actually are bigger also, and is controlled by strings attached to a crossbar for fluid movements. That means smooth movements of the puppet. Thank you. Next. Yeah. So all the puppets who have their own voices. I think when I mentioned Soumya Ojha madam, she has a puppet called Tara. All right. So the puppet has its own voice. So that is ventriloquism, the art of ventriloquism, where you can distinguish your voice as the manipulator, and the puppet has its own voice, and we run both the things together. Okay, so the performer is called, or the manipulator is called, ventriloquist, who manipulates its mouth while speaking without moving lips. All right, so this is one of its example. Thank you. Next. These are the new ones. These are humanists, a puppet where a performer's head is visible while the puppet's small body is attached to them. And this is also done with the help of black background. Okay, so the manipulators keep changing their faces, and they cannot move much. With the hands only, they move the strings, and expressions are more clear because the head or the mouth is replaced, is of a human only. The body is of a puppet. And then there is a dialogue form. So we may have the way we have our selfie corners nowadays. I think if it is given a form of a body, it would become a humanate, and we can have in the school as well. So you can have discussions through them, and that will definitely, give a new charm in the classroom to listen to the voice. Next. This I was talking earlier, Banraku puppet, and it is a traditional Japanese puppet. It is manipulated by three people. All right. So one person moves the limbs, the other helps with the body and nodding, and that is how the Banraku puppets are there, and they are very famous on the world platform. These days we have international competitions also, where people come with their own country's culture and tradition, holding very intact, and they project it through these puppets. Next. All right, so this is a kind of a socks puppet. Quickly, I would like to just to show you that this is a simple socks. Okay, one sock. Generally, after these winters, you'll have that you have lost another, part of it, and one pair is missing. So we can utilize them to create a sock puppet, actually. So I won't say it's a workshop for creating a socks, but these pictures which are on screen, it is very easy. We can put a cardboard here. All right, so that would give a shape of the mouth, and then we can have some pop-up balls for the eyes. We can color them black, and then we can go ahead, we can give any distinguished hairstyle to the puppet, and that creates the personality. When we talk about puppetry, what is most important is any kind of puppet. It looks beautiful, it looks ugly, doesn't appeal somebody, it doesn't appeal ABC or XYZ, it hardly matters. What personality is given to that puppet, that matters. I think as an educator, if we have one puppet in our hand, I think that the children would be desperate to have you in their class. So many of the classroom problems can be resolved. We will talk on this on the next slide, but there are very easy few links available on YouTube where we can quickly, in less than 5 minutes, create a sock puppet in our classrooms. Why not have them, each child having one sock puppet? I see it being utilized to that level, that they can have a vent ready with them. The threat of losing a close friend is not there. So these are all the research studies which have been there, which we talk, and then they can be a very important tool when we take them to the classrooms, even beyond classrooms. Next, please. Next. Yes, sir. Next. All right. So each one of us, we know it that as per NEP 2020, it promotes the 21st century skills and life skills. So in this dynamic and complex world, of course, but these skills are innate. I think what I have studied with small little experience, all these skills are not missed or lost somewhere. I think in our system there is a lack of brushing it up or polishing it. I think Burlington next, sir, there is a line for Burlington. Can you put the next button? Yeah, there's a sentence missing. Yes, so everyone, each one of us today, I think personally I believe that Burlington has taken the initiative. When I first time saw the book, with the title called 21st Century English, so all those skills were incorporated, and I found it really authentic for all kinds of learners, actually, be it visual, auditory, reading, writing, or kinesthetic learners. And when we talk about different kinds of learners, these books have worked great to inculcate the strong roots of English, which were definitely not found in all the curriculums which we have used earlier. And the latest series of the book is also I think wonderful and amazing as far as my experience of this journey of around 16-18 years is concerned. The dedication of the team is commendable, and when they talk about the different skills, they mean it. In all the books we have seen this oral language development, home play, numeracy book also has such games. So all the skills and different techniques and technologies are mentioned. What I have tried, Mosinji, is that from few of these KG books, I have took the topics and we have tried to perform them with the help of small puppets in the classroom, and it is coming amazingly well. I'll share few of the videos, I'm so sure, with you all.
Thanks for acknowledging that point, ma'am. It really matters, like veteran persons like you, going through the books and, letting the people to understand the quality of our product, and really appreciate for bringing that point, ma'am. So with this,
No,
we'll
no,
move on to
thank
our
you
next
so
slide.
much. Yeah, thank you so much. And I'm so sure these home plays and the role plays which are placed inside the stories, which are, I mean, the selection of content has also been, very amazing for all the educators across. So, yes, all the slides can be opened. When we talk about the skills, these are the 4 skills. Now, can anyone, let's now involve our participants as well. On your screen to your right are top 10 core life skills. These are recommended by WHO, and even CBSE also has a great module on this when they talk about life skills basics. Okay, and these are the skills which they look forward. On your left are the NEP when they talk about the learning and innovation skill, literacy skill, and life and career skill. We want your writing part to be now active. Please let me know how can a puppet be used for all 4 C's. Can anyone plan, few lines with a topic? How can you have a puppet who is, which is a tool for critical thinking, creativity, collaboration, and communication in a healthy classroom? Can we use a puppet, or how do you see puppetry aligned with all these 4 learning and innovation skills? Water cycle, story narration, yes, that's a basic storytelling. That's the basic thing, basic use people feel of puppet. Role play, yes. All right. Dialogue writing, somebody is saying. Good habits. Talking objects, storytelling. Okay, now let us imagine our routine classroom. Thank you everyone. Moral stories and arrangements, great ideas you have given. Okay, okay. Now just give rest to your fingers. No more typing, away from keypads. I think when we talk about these 4 skills, how I would like to see this puppet working is that, first of all, if they create a puppet, so that is creativity, the color, the aesthetic, the size, the role, then the name, what characteristics, personality traits, what a puppet should have. This should be divided by decided by the class. All right, so that would definitely engage each child. They will learn how to share ideas. They will definitely do brainstorming with it, and then they will collaborate to at least find that junk puppet which we talked earlier. Whatever is found in the school, there can be a small stick, there can be few used wrappers, there can be some in art and craft we have so many cotton rushed here and there, used tapes, chart papers, anything. Then there are leaves to decorate the ornaments of the puppet. They can use it for the clothes as well. So I think they'll be collaborating. Now, doing this, they will communicate. And when we take them to the next level, I think all these skills can be, covered using one puppet theater play which a class has to do in a class, in any of the assembly or anywhere. They will definitely plan it out what would be the subject which they will choose. So again, they will be brainstorming. Few students who are not, creatively very good in drawing or something, they can weave a story or write the script or the dialogue for the theater, as everyone is suggesting storytelling. But we will see in the next slides how do we can have an interdisciplinary approach while using these puppets in the class. So yeah, these are the 5 potential uses: supporting a positive classroom climate, enhancing creativity and generating communication, changing attitudes, fostering cooperation and integration into a group. Fine, we'll see and deal how only one, I think, case study will tell everything about it, which is the next slide. So you open the entire one. So this is story of uh, a boy called Stephen. All right, who has, witnessed, and this is a research paper actually. It is not a build up story by me. It is a research published research paper. So the boy witnessed the murder of his father, and it led to aggression and emotional distress. Now it led to the decline of his academic performance. The aggression was so much that the school, did a hands up that we don't want to have the child. And then he showed emotional withdrawal. So all the educators, this emotional withdrawal means the child is not showing emotion of being into pain or being into fear or being happy or being, in sad mood or nothing. That's called emotional withdrawal. Then the child denied to speak out also. So there the verbal therapy also didn't work out. Now comes the role of play therapy, and all this puppetry thing comes under play therapy. All the good counselors in good schools, I'm so sure you all good schools must be having a counselor. So the role of counselor comes into scene here. And then the therapy or the session started, where initially the child was not happy to meet anybody, okay, or to talk about what has happened. Now in that room, the counselor decided for a non-directive play therapy. What is non-directive? Actually, we have a structured and a non-structured play therapy, non-directive and directive play therapy. Directive therapy works when the when the person is ready to speak out, when the person is not knowing why he or she is distressed or why he or she is depressed, okay, but wants a solution. Then the work goes easy for the counselor. Then you have a directive case study where you put the questions and answers are got. Here in this case, the child was so young at the age of 8. He has witnessed, and he's been a good child, so it was seen that everything was going to zero for him. The entire confidence was broken up. The child got very aggressive, was beating people around and was not talking at all. The whole research, I think 8-10 pages, I've tried to put in this slide actually. Then there was a free play setting for him, and he chose puppets. You won't believe. And these puppets played such a vital role that he started talking to the puppets, and he created a scene, what he has seen. So there was a boy puppet which got very close to him, and there were a male puppet and a female puppet and things. So after few sessions, it was observed that he was so aggressive in the form of that boy puppet. And what he was doing, he was trying to do with that boy puppet to the other puppets. So then the counselor kept observing. Here the role, and being educators, we all are putting different caps as the time demands. We have been, and I'm so sure everyone of many children around us. So now this Stephen, he reenacted that trauma which he had in his earlier years. and there was his dream and scream that okay, this father puppet will die soon, this father puppet will die soon. So this made the counselor clear that okay, his childhood trauma is still there, that's why he's not out of it. I have read a little psychology. Many of us have read it during our BEds. Actually, at this tender age, children are not able to understand that why they are behaving in a certain way, because the difference between the fear and the agony or the pain is not clear. Since it is not clear, so they don't have anything then to shout up, aloud. So we feel that he's aggressive, he's showing tantrums or whatever. So after eighth session, finally he expressed grief directly through himself. Okay, then this puppet was no more a medium to show the emotions, and he understood that he was so deep grief striken कि उसे दर्द कहा जाता है. He didn't know it. All right, so that fear and that grief was collaboratively coming out in his behavior. And after this, through the puppets, it was seen that he now did not wanted puppet to be in between the conversation, but the role of puppet majorly was to give vent to him, because he knew that this thing will not judge him. So whatever emotions he had, he found the solace or the tool to which through which he tried to show his emotions. Counselor role is of course not to judge, not to prompt, not to reach to a decision or give more puppets, or tell the person to enact more and talk to the stories. He was not ready to talk about the incident for a longer period of time, but ultimately in this puppet play only he promised one day through that boy puppet to others that I will once again study as normal children, because it is a case study of a European country, and there if the children are little emotionally imbalanced, they put them to the other class, other small section. And in 2 years he promised and he came back to the normal classroom. That was the biggest success. And then later on, now he's leading a very good life. So there's an entire video of him when he grew up. He understood that there was a role of this puppet which we see as a tool of entertainment only, but it played a vital role for him to come back to the mainstream. So this non-directive play was very effective. This trauma which he had, he got emotional healing. And in our classrooms also, sometimes we feel that small kids, they have seen somewhere unhealthy at home, and then they come in school and they enact and they try to give a vent to it. So these puppets can be somebody which can replace, sometimes we feel that a child is poking pencil to the other child, so the child is stressed somewhere, he wants his to be, to get his vent out. So if we give such a classroom to the child, I'm so sure they'll feel that they are at a safer place, nobody is judging them. And especially, we'll talk in the later slides, there can be more uses in the classroom for awareness as well. I hope this case study is clear. Next, please. Okay, so I'll just pick one example because I think we are running short of time as well. So these are the few topics which I chose, that there can be interdisciplinary approach or teaching learning environment through puppetry. When we talk about solar system, we can have such kind of sun, moon, and other planets. Okay, in the classroom, yes. And then they can, we can tell them what is revolving and what is rotation. Then the students who are good at speaking can give one sound, which we recently said, so they can become ventriloquist for different planets. Then if we integrate English with it, they will write script, few dialogues for each of the planets. Each planet will talk 5 or 6 fact about itself, so that we are integrating English. Then we are integrating aesthetic, when they will collaborate and make these puppets beautiful. When we talk about integrating solar system EVS with mathematics, These puppets can talk about their distance from sun, okay, their speed. Then we can talk about the number of sun, the I mean moon and other satellites around them. So all these things can be integrated, and these puppets can be great tool. And I'm sure it won't give much tedious job to the teachers. Kids would love doing it, I'm so sure about it. Same way evolution of man can be done, different shapes and sizes can talk about themselves. So our task nowadays is of being a facilitator in the classroom, not being a commander or a Hitler, where you just have to utter the fact and walk out. So that should be avoided, I feel. And it is aptly mentioned in all the books of the Burlington as well, where the sessions, the teacher is, or the educator is a facilitator more. The learning exchange is done by the student led classrooms. They are the best classrooms, I feel. Next, please. All right. So for social awareness and communication, we can use it. And in therapeutical use, we have recently seen we can, I think it would be an amazing idea. We can have all the schools now, we go for our, social media thing. So why not put the puppet as one of the moderator to talk about the activities of the school, even on social media. So the learners or the people watching it, the viewers will definitely wait for the next session of that puppet, maybe. Okay. And they can be of different size. The culture and tradition or the art form, here also a few names are mentioned. They can play a vital role in preserving the culture, which we all talk in our new NEPs, and we want to take children back to the roots sometimes. Now, these puppets have been, the research says that they have been very vital in the behavioral and speech disorders as well. Because children don't speak sometimes, we all know it. Those who have stage fear also, here we know that people don't want to be judged. All right. And the sensitive things, when Sir talked about, I have conducted workshops on gender sensitivity, where I have seen adults even not speaking up on few of the topics which they consider a taboo. I think the puppet can come as a mediator for our rescue that point of time. And when they talk about safe and unsafe touch, even NEP or the educators say now there is no term called good touch or bad touch. When we talk about safe and unsafe touch, and sometimes it is seen that in unconsciously in the preschools, teacher take a child out, okay, and then the teacher says this is a safe touch, and maybe the child doesn't like your touch that moment. All right. And then they say, okay, these are these parts, and this is safe, this is unsafe. So kind of things, I believe we should, on a being on a safer side, should have a big puppet in the classroom. Okay. And the puppet may say it is safe or it is unsafe. So that will be a good tool as well. And maybe we will not harm the child's, the aura, maybe the child at that point of time is. So if we take care that way, it would be nice for all of us to have a very safe classroom environment as well. For the counseling sessions, we have already talked. Sir Mohsin sir, you'll be very happy to note that our school also, we raise lots of awareness through puppets, and there'll be few pictures we'll show you. We have been doing 3 hours show where 27 teachers were involved, more than 15 kids were there, and we have created a room of 10 by 10, wherein lights were there, music department was there, drama team was there. It was a whole show on Navdurga, Navratri, because being an educator in Gujarat, Navratri is a big cultural, has a big cultural importance. And but I found that children are not knowing the even the name of the deities, all nine, and why they are dancing overnight, the objective was missing somewhere. So just to create that awareness, we had this 3 hour show which took almost 20 days. and great effort of 27 teachers to make puppets and to handle. There was a teacher who was handling, the other is giving voice, and few of them are, behind the scenes making the puppets, replacing it, live music, live lights. So it was amazing show. I think we all should do something for creating awareness with this tool. So can we have next slide?
Um, Moreover, I would like to thank for the case study, ma'am. It has given really a good insight for us. What is the impact of a puppetry, So that was really interesting for us to have. We'll move
Sure,
on to
sure.
next slide, ma'am. Thanks for that.
Yeah. Yeah, this we have already just now you have spoken about it. The emotional expression and healing can be done, and therapeutical use also. And in ADHD and autism, I'm so sure I'm dealing two kids right now, autism and ADHD, and I feel it gives that vent. When the child is tired, the parents are happy. They want their child to be tired, but their physical activeness will be more if they are not mentally tired. So mentally tired means in a creative way, and then we can see that the mind goes at peace. Once the mind goes at peace, the body will definitely sit for a longer period of time. Few of the kids we have noticed in all our classrooms, they don't want to sit at one place you know so we call them spring children. They keep on jumping from back to front, front to back, and the teacher does lot many things because they are kinesthetic learners. They want to be involved physically to understand the concept. So if we give them such drills, they will invest hours to do such things, and they will be able to use their physical involvement, and thus our objective of imparting learning and knowledge to them will be met, I feel. So for mental health nowadays, puppets are doing great job. This is, yeah, next. We can, I think, we can take the next slide. Now, again, once again, I think why I got this opportunity, because of Cal's in Burlington. So he visited once, and I was talking about puppetry beyond pre-primary or primary section. I'm so sure the educators across country are there. And there is a poem in grade 11, which is called Father to Son, Sir. And this experiment I have done, and I have promised myself in all the years I'll be teaching or doing administration, whatever. This poem I'll do with this only, with the use of the puppet only. The same puppet you all have seen actually. Okay, this is my class puppet. I've given a nose now recently to it. Okay, so these are the teenagers in grade 11, and they feel they are into their own world, and there's a generation lag we all have experienced. We ourselves have experienced when we were of their age. And this poem by Elizabeth Jennings talks about the gap between the father and the son in the house, where the father says that all these years he's my shadow. He looks like me. I have taught him holding my finger to walk around in the house. And today, why he is not settling, and why there is no time between us when we are talking to each other, though we are looking at each other in a house, and this house belongs to him. Everything I have done for him, but why he is searching peace or searching money outside this house when I've settled everything? I want him to be back in this house and again being my child, and we talk and we share emotions together. This is what is the desire, almost broadly, in the poem. So the poem is Father to Son. Here the theme is communication gap between generations, what I have written on board, and there's a picture, random picture clicked by one of the colleague only. And then how I started it, I told, because it's a co-ed school, so I told the girls that okay, you start writing poem or a paragraph that wherein you are, it is father to daughter. Now there was a contrast in the classroom. The relation in grade 11, what father to daughter are, they are totally different from the responses I received from boys of the classroom. Then I told them that, okay, what was the last dialogue you exchanged with your father at a length, not only give pocket money or keys of the bike, other than that. And whatever dialogue comes to your mind, you have to write it. You have to enact it in front of the class. Okay, any dialogue, or you can build your own dialogues. Can you imagine, Mohsin ji, that few of the girls started crying as well, a couple of them. The boys were seen very sentimental when talking about it, because then they were seeing that, okay, he's not my father. Few of them considered the puppet as their father. Few of them considered themselves as puppets, and they were talking like their father. So it was a wonderful time which I had, and it happened all of a sudden. But they gave vent to their emotions, and I understood their needs through those dialogues of 2 days. And then we talked to the parents, okay, this is what is lacking maybe in your house, when you are unhappy that they are not sitting with us. And then it took to a parenting thing as well. So I think, as an educator, I played a role to become somebody who can create a conducive environment in their house as well, using this small puppet. Okay,
That's
so
the point I
that
feel, ma'am. Like, puppets are able to create a emotional connect with the people. So this was the reason the students might have emotionally connected and started crying for that. So that's the impact of the
true,
puppets, I think. Yeah,
true. And I think if we will tell them, okay, how do you tell your relation with your parents, they won't speak out,
correct.
because there are certain inhibitions they have. So, and then this become a, the puppet become a medium. Okay, so they found that, okay, nobody's noticing, so they got engrossed in the talk, and then they talked what they did not want to talk actually. So that was a good, amazing experience for me as well, first time. Now I'm having it repeatedly. Next,
So
please.
it's 4 minutes to 5 o'clock, ma'am. How it is like you
Sure,
want to give
sure.
a summary of
Just
it
last
because we
slide.
would like to take questions from the teachers as well in the chat box.
Okay, all right, all right. Last slide,
So
I
we,
think we have. Next,
yeah.
second last. Next, please. Yeah, this is how we have created a scene, and these are just the advantages and recapitulation. Fine, they can read and talk. Now I put the platform open for them. If there's anything, so I'm also trying to read. If there's anything, I would love to answer. In fact, he will answer.
Teachers, you are good to post the questions if at all you have in the question and answer section, or feel free to post the questions here in the chat box, please. So, ma'am will take randomly
Good
4 5 questions
evening.
and we'll wind up the
Yeah,
session.
yeah, yeah. Definitely. Please talk to me, teachers. I am ready.
Here we have one question, ma'am. Can you
All
please
right.
share the video of the puppet show of Navdurga?
Oh, surely. And okay. And then there was a Krishna Leela also. That was amazing. I'll share both, definitely.
One of the
But
teacher is
how would
asking for
we?
sample copies of Burlington English Magic. Yes, ma'am, we'll get back to you on this, ma'am. Our sales person will get in touch with you. Bhagyalakshmi, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, for emotional, I think autism, ADHD, ma'am, it would definitely. I missed out actually.
One teacher is
Uh,
asking where does we get the different kinds of puppets? That was the question.
I don't. I feel they are available, but I love to. I enjoy to give creation and give life to them. So we can have a. There are mostly YouTube channels are there, so you can make it on your own. I think they would be available on Amazon. I never tried actually.
What
It's the
should a
time for
teacher
puppetry.
do if a kid is afraid of a puppet?
If a kid is afraid of a puppet, yeah, maybe, sir, I think the small puppets, I think the teacher belongs to a KG section, if I'm not wrong. So these small puppets, again, the size of the puppet matters. Okay, we need to understand the affection of the children towards what. Any ice cream can be a puppet, actually. Anything the child loves. It doesn't need, I mean, a puppet need not have an, eyes or a mouth. Anything can work as a medium, I believe.
So with this, shall we stop taking the questions, ma'am? How it is, because it is 5 o'clock now.
All right. I loved interacting with everyone, and you all have been amazing, putting your questions and your appreciations. Lots of appreciations there. Thank you very much once again, everyone, for
Uh,
joining.
Teachers, thanks for your time. Again, wishing you happy International Women's Day. I would like to really appreciate our facilitator, Meenal ma'am, for
Thank you, Mosin.
giving such enlightenment to us. Now that we understood what kind of emotional connect a puppet can do to humans. And teachers, thanks for participating. Like I told you during the beginning of the webinar, like you will be getting your participant certificates. Now that I will share a YouTube link also, kindly subscribe to our channel so that you can have the latest updates. I have shared the link here in our chat box, please. So really, thank you. Thanks all for having such patience and being engaged till the last minute of this webinar. And that's all for the day. Catch up in the next webinar. Thank you, ma'am. Looking forward to
Thank
work
you
with
so
you
much,
and try
Mosin
to
ji.
yeah, to be engaged in more
Thank
of
you.
the
My
webinar
pleasure.
sessions. Thank you.
My
Thank you.
pleasure. And happy Ramadan month to you as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, ma'am.